Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Ink and Page, and I am here today because I have a new Nature's Neutrals project for you guys. This is a flipbook, so it's like an accordion style journal, and it is, in keeping with the Nature's Neutral kit. It's all new images and patterns and designs that I've been working on. I just wanted to create a fun small project. It got a little out of hand, as it often does, but it's still a very manageable project, and I think it's going to be pretty fun to put together, and it's going to be, it's not too small, it's not too big. You'll see as we go through it. I'm going to go through it really quickly here. Now, basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the papers. Oh, and this is available in my Etsy shop right now. So I always forget to say that at the beginning. And also, if you guys would like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, helps me find new people, which is amazing for our, when we do our freebie projects, to have as many people as possible participating in those. And also because we're going to be starting a new one next month, for Junk Journal July, and I thought it'd be fun to have some newbies on board for that. So, with all of that said, let me get into the papers first, and then I will go through a little bit about the ephemera and the pieces of the folio. I won't do a full flip through of the kit because it's not going to make as much sense. One thing I did want to say is this paper here on the top, this like flowered one, is the one I used on the back of most of my ephemera. I messed up on a couple of them, so I'll put those out as they pop up, but for most, like, I'd say 95% of my ephemera is printed on the back sides are printed on this. So I double-sided everything, and what I double-sided with was this one paper so that it'd be easier for you guys to tell when I'm working in the video whether or not I'm working on a page that was designed in the kit or it was something that I just printed on the back. Okay, so the second or third or fourth, I don't know what number I'm on at this point, but the pages, if you get the zip file, I have numbered all of the pages so they are in order. So it starts with the cover, and then it'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they go in order of how they're assembled into the folio in the files. If you get the PDF version, it will just be the pages in order in the PDF that you get it. So it'll be the pages that have the actual pages on it of the folio and the accompanying ephemera. So that'll all be grouped. They'll be grouped by section through as you move through the folio to kind of try to help you guys stay organized and not, lose track of pieces that you need. Now, for the most part, there's you can mix and match the ephemera anywhere you want to put it, and you can even mix and match the panels wherever you want to put them. There's a few that have to go in certain places, but I'll get to that in a minute. Let's just go through the papers here, and then I'll go through the rest of it. Okay, so I've got this they're mostly a little bit grungy. They're all this kind of yellow, green, light blue color palette. And mostly these are going to be, for this project, you're mostly going to be using, these will be your back ephemera for the pages in the folio, because one side will be printed and designed by me, and you'll have to print on the other side, or paint on the other side, or you can glue book pages to the other side, whatever you want to do. I just tried to give you a good range of background papers for the kit, so that you could have a variety of patterns and stuff for the back of your pieces. And there's this green guy here. And there's this one is kind of crazy. It's just like a mix-up, mash-up of everything. I think it's a lovely background paper. It looks good in pieces, you know, as well as in a whole. And then there's this yellow canvas here. Okay, so that's all the background papers. And now there's some standalone ephemera in the kit as well. So just wanted to point that out as well. If you get the zip file, it will be in a separate folder. So the standalone ephemera will be separate from the folio pieces, will be separate from the papers. So there'll be like 3 folders in there. If you get the PDF, all it will be is, the only difference will be that they'll be in sequential order. So I will put all the folio pieces together, all the ephemera together, and then all of the background papers together. So it'll just be sequential through the PDF. Okay, so this is just real quick. There are some extra pieces. These are not assigned to a page, so to speak. They don't have a particular place in the folio to go. They're just extra pieces for you guys to tuck in wherever you want, if you want to make extra ephemera out of them. I made some little clusters for you guys to get started, and then you can just add these little fussy cuts to them, and you'll have like a quick little cluster right there already made. There's a page of tabs. And then there's also this page of, I have words, I have a couple of quotes, and just a couple of phrases, because I thought it'd be fun to add these in throughout the folio. And then additionally, I have a bunch of panels. So if you don't want to double-side your folio, there are these extra panels, and there's 3 pages of them, I think, that you can put on the back side of your folio pages, just so that you have something on there. We're going to go through the basic assembly. We're going to assemble the base first, and then I can show you how these would fit into the whole process. But I just wanted you to have an idea of what the extra ephemera was before we jumped into this. Okay, so now, okay, so for the first part of this, you need all of your ephemera, all of your folio pieces, which you will be able to tell which ones they are very easily by looking at them, because they all have this rectangular shape. I went ahead and put little post-its on mine, because I cut mine out all out of order, because my printer printed them all out of order. So hot tip, your printer may mess you up a little bit if you're trying to keep things organized. My printer printed things out of order, so I just went ahead and stuck post-its on them as I was cutting them out, to keep everything, you know, in order. So the first thing that I have to do, though, before I do anything, is this page here. So this is a frame, and you can manage this in 2 different ways. You can simply glue the frame page. There's like a couple of options for your frame page that you can pick from. And I'm just going to grab one of them out of the stack here so you can see. There's a couple of different options. They look like this. There's 3 different ones. If you don't want to cut your frame out, you can just stick it right on top and keep moving. Okay. I'm going to cut mine out because I love a frame lately. In case you hadn't noticed, I've been putting them in all my stuff for some reason. Like, I think we all go through these little phases with stuff like this, you know, where there's just something that you really, really love the way it looks, and you just can't help yourself. You got to put it in everything. So, okay, so I'm going to grab I just need to grab a pokey tool here. I'm going to use my tweezers, I think, because I put my bookbinding stuff away, and that's where my all is. Okay, so this is the side of the kit. This is the side this is what I double-sided, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to poke a hole in the center of this with these tweezers. And then I'm just going to cut this to the corners. This is like the same process that I've been using for this, to cut these frames out, because I feel like it's pretty quick and it's pretty neat, and it gives you kind of a sturdy frame situation. I don't know if anybody else cuts their frames out like this, but I like it a lot better than with going with the X-Acto knife, because it's faster, and for me it ends up neater and more accurate. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just flip this over and I'm going to fold these back. They pretty naturally fold onto where the edge of the frame is because of how you've cut it. So you just have to kind of roll it back. Just make sure you don't tear it. And then just fold it. And the last one. I just want to make sure I can see where I'm going here. And then I'm just going to trim these guys off. Just the points is really what I need to get off. I could have used a slightly bigger pair of scissors. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do here is just quickly glue down, oops, I'm going to take off the thing there. I'm just going to glue down the tabs here. Okay, now that I have my backs glued down and I gave them a second to dry, I'm going to go ahead and use some washi tape just to go over these edges, because it'll just help, because what I would like to do with my frame, and you don't have to do this if you're gonna glue your frame down, I was gonna leave the top of mine open so I could pull things in and out of it. So I want it to be like, I want my back to be nice and smooth, and for there nothing, I don't want anything to be there to catch on it when it slides in. So I'm just going to cover it with washi tape, and you're not going to see that, so it doesn't matter what color it is, which is why I use this crazy yellow washi tape, because I don't know what else I would use it for, I have to be honest. I'm just going to cover that up too. It's a little wider than, my tape isn't quite as wide as the, okay, so now that we have this cut out, we can go, we're going to start with our, we're going to start at the beginning, and we're just going to work our way through the folio. Okay, so this is the first piece right here with the calla lily on the cover. Okay, and this has a camouflage pocket that goes on it. So let's go ahead and put that on first. And then once we have that on, we can just go right through and attach all the pieces together to make the little book. And then we'll just be filling it up. Okay. I'm going to fold these guys back. Get my hands a little bit sticky. Okay, and then you're just going to if you just line it up with the corners here, it should line up pretty well with the actual image on the cover. Okay. Got that there. I'm just going to go ahead and pop a couple paper clips on here so this doesn't move around while we're doing the rest of it, but it'll give it a good chance to dry too before we move on or start putting stuff into it. Okay, so now you have this second pocket here. This pocket is how we're attaching onto the next piece. Okay, so this is going to be 1 and 2. So this is the cover, this is 1, this is 2 here. Okay, so the way this is going to work is you're going to fold this flap to the back of the folio, okay? And then you're going to attach this to the front here, okay? So we're going to put a line of glue down here, and I will actually, let me just run some ink over that so you guys can see it. So we're going to run glue just inside this crease and on these 2 tabs as well. And then we're going to glue that to this panel here, making sure this panel is folded to the back. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And then I'm just going to do like a thin line of glue just inside where the fold is. Okay, and then we're going to flip this over and line this guy up. You might help to fold this back so that you know you're getting your everything lined up. I used glue for this and not tape so that I would have that, like, you know, there's that like few second window you can get with glue, just to make sure that everything is lined up and in the right place. Okay, so this is what you have now, and then if you flip it over, this is what you have on this side, okay? So for number 3 here, we are going to attach this onto here, and this is going to be a pocket right here, okay? So the glue is going to go again on the inside of this fold right here that I just inked, and then just on the sides here. I was hoping my gluing in a straight line skills would improve, but so far I haven't seen much of an improvement. Using the glue press, you know, it's an adjustment in terms of like how you hold your hand. Okay, so then this is going to go right on here, just like this. We're just going to do those little side areas so that we have this for a pocket. Okay, and now we're on to our next piece, which is going to be gluing our frame down here. Okay, now, so when I did this the first time, I accidentally glued my whole frame down, so I have to remember not to do that this time. So I'm only going to glue around 3 sides because I want to be able to slide my image in and out, but you could also glue your image down if you wanted to, or just glue your image on top. Okay, so I'm just going to put this frame right on here. Just make sure I've got everything lined up here before I completely invest here. Okay. All right, let's hop on to the next one. Okay, so now for this one, this is the one with the butterfly on it. You're gonna fold the butterfly to the back, just like we did with the other one earlier. And then this one is gonna attach onto this panel here. Okay, I'm gonna fold this just because it's starting to get a little bit long. So, so now we're gonna glue this here. So what we're gonna do is the same thing that we did before. Let me grab this, is we're gonna glue just to the inside of the crease right here, and then on the two sides. Okay. Now the butterfly is folded to the back, and then this is just going on right here. So basically all of our panels are pretty much attached by pockets at this point. So that, which is a nice seamless way of, you know, kind of attaching everything as it goes through. Okay, so I'm gonna just fold this here up like this, because now you have your little book. Now it's in book form right now, and all we have to do is turn it into our little folio by adding our ephemera in. So we're going to do that right now. I think I can take these off for sure, and we'll get out the ephemera. Okay, so let's start with just with a quick overview of the back panels. So this is the stuff that I double-sided printed on it. These are the cut up. I cut up all the like kind of extra panels that are available in here, and these are the ones that you can just stick on here if you want to have a different kind of a background on them. Okay, you can layer if you want to put something else underneath it and create like a layered situation. There's size to do that, so you could go ahead and do that. But these are just to add decoration to your back panels so that they look like the front panels do, with the kind of varying designs in the different ones. Now these could also be used on the front panels as well. They're not just for the back panels. It's kind of like if it's another way to customize if you want to do that. Okay, so I'll probably add some of those in as we go. For right now, I'm going to just probably put some of this ephemera here in my cover. And then you don't have to use, the ephemera is not like assigned to a particular panel. It's just like one of the things is when you're, obviously I want to try to maximize my space when I'm doing stuff like this. So I'll slip, if I can fit little pieces of ephemera in, I'll put them in wherever I can get them in. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to go ahead and do this is kind of a very collage-y kit. So there's a lot of opportunities for, adding and layering things in here. So this is one of those projects that it might take a couple passes to do it, because you have a lot of different things going on. And certainly any of the ephemera from any of the Nature's Neutrals kits would coordinate with this one. So, and any of the pieces that are, in the kit are open for use on any panel. I kind of feel like I want a smaller butterfly on here. Just like that. Okay, one of the things that I wanted to do was bring in some of this brown paper into my kit, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. There's something on the back of it, but you won't be able to see it when you're actually, when it, you know, once it's glued down onto the ephemera. So I'm just going to go ahead and rip this up. I should probably do it so it's straight, huh? I just want to do it a little bit bigger than this. And take a little bit more off of there. Okay, let's go ahead and put this on here. I just want to bring in some extra brown, I think. And then I can use my smaller butterfly. Because I want to put this in the pocket, so I don't want the butterfly could hang out this way, but it can't hang out down. So I would have to cut it if it hangs out down. Alright, so let me get... Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and glue this. Has the astronomical stamping on the back of it from the star catcher. I'm gonna pop this guy on here, like so, and then add my little butterfly over here, and see what we got here to add to it. It's my little drawer of stuff. We'll just add like a little bit of thread behind this guy, just to give it a little bit of extra interest on there. Alright, let's put that down first. Right on top. I'm just gonna slide that up so it makes it into my pocket. There we go. That's still a little bit wet, so it's still a little bit mobile, but I think it's I feel like I might feel this guy here. Unless I want to put it up here. There's a bunch of different quotes too that we can use on the inside. I don't think I did a good job getting the glue on the end there. We could always glue like a little piece of like trim or something to that right there as well. Is this gonna fit on there? So I could cut this. I promise I won't do this for all of them. Just for like, this is my cover ephemera. So, and I have to say I've been working on designing this for a couple of days, and just looking forward to actually getting to make it and play around with it. So I'm probably a little bit too excited to get to mess around with it. I've made a whole bunch of like prototypes, but never with like all the finished ephemera. It's just usually just the base pieces. I think that's pretty good actually. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone for a few minutes. Just to let that dry. I'm gonna put that right there, and then we can move on to the next one. I can even put a quote like on the front here, but I'll wait to do that. Okay, so now we've got number 2. We have like a bunch. We just have or this is actually panel 1 because of the covers kind of 0. So we have a bunch of like different stuff to go in here. Hopefully my pocket, I think I might have glued it down too much. Let me get my tweezers just to see if there's, because basically we just want to make sure that that side piece right there is kind of like, that's where the glue went in. So sometimes you have to give it a little bit of help to get the stuff in there. Okay, so I have the cute bunny. I have my feather. I really wanted to do like these two guys together a lot, and that gives me like some really good contrast on there for this. I might do that for that one. I also have this round one. That's also cute, huh? Okay, I can't mess around too much. Okay, what if I'm gonna go ahead and glue this to the tag, and then put this here like this. And then what I'm thinking is maybe we wrap this around here. Maybe lower. I'll just tie a knot here. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this just with a tiny dot of glue there, so that I don't have to worry about it coming apart. Just cut that off. We have that there. I'm going to add a little something something here. There we go. I'm going to just trim the edges of this just a little tiny bit so that it doesn't just take up the whole thing, you know? Oh, I also have all my little bonus pieces over here. So we could take like one of these guys and add it to the top as well. I actually think this one on the top is a really good match for this guy here. I thought it might be fun to have like a few things like sticking out at the top of it, or, you know, just like a little something extra. Okay. Just a little bit of glue and a little bit of glue. Here. Oh, I also have some cute washi tape that I wanted to add into this too. But for right now, like that. We have that there. And then, you know, there's a bunch of these guys here. Oh, there's this butterfly one. That could very easily be used to create little tuck spots. So if we wanted to, where's my big butterfly? So if I wanted to add this here, I could do that with the tuck spot. Is that too on the nose if I use the butterfly for a butterfly? There's a bunch of different fussy cuts in here. So there's also some plainer ones of these too. I think I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet, but I'm going to put it on there so that I have it for, you know, have a little spot later when I go through here. Okay, that means we're going to move on to this one right here, which is just, this is a pocket. So again, like whatever you guys want to put in there is, you know, it could literally be anything. Any of the ephemera. Oh, we could put our bunny in there actually, huh? With our feather as well. And let's see. I'm going to come back to this one just because that's probably too big for that pocket. A lot of my ephemera is still grouped up into where it, on the pages that it's associated with. So once I get some of that out of there, I'll probably add it in different places. Okay, so I got that. Okay, so now we can turn the page here. Oh, we're already on our frame. Okay, so there's a bunch of pieces for the frame too. I thought it might be fun to not just put the picture in the frame. I'm very partial to this in case you hadn't noticed. Not just put the picture in the frame, but also decorate around the frame a little bit. Depending on what your gluing skills were, you may have to trim this a little bit like me. I think I glued really, really fat. Oh, you know what? And round the corners, because then it'll go down a lot easier. Okay, so I thought it would be fun. I might put a tab on that actually, because it'll be easier to get out if I had a tab on there. So like to decorate around the frame as well once this was in there. So I have to see what I want to put on there. Oh, I have this cute little mushroom over here too. That would be good for right there. Oh, you know what? I have these guys. Is that too big? I don't think that's too big. And that kind of goes with the postage theme. I'm just going to put that right on there. And then I can put like a little one of the fussy cuts like right on top of it. Oh, what about that little guy? He's so cute. Okay, let's put him on there. That puts us in good shape there. I've already made quite a mess. Put these over here. And I'm going to start corralling all my extra pieces over here that are left over after. I think that's probably too big. But maybe I can find something else to go in the corner there. I could also add myself a little file note here too. Okay, now we can move on to number 4, which is this butterfly panel right here. Make sure I didn't glue anything together that shouldn't be glued together. Okay, so that's my butterfly panel here. So we have, for this one, we have pockets to go on here. I'm thinking you have an optional panel too for this one. As well, if you want to do that. I don't know if I want to cover up these cute mushrooms though. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we're just going to glue this one down. I'm going to glue it directly on to the back of the folio because I want to save my cute mushroom card for something else. Okay, this is going to go here and like kind of in the lower middle. And then we're going to put the little mini pocket on top of it. Go, and then we can get some of our ephemera and we can go ahead and put that in there. So we have, let's see here, thinking about some of this and also my little mushroom. I think I'm going to put him on the pocket as well. And I have this nice, stay down there. I have this nice tall flower here. I'm hoping it's gonna be the perfect fit for in there. I can decide about how much I want it to stick out. That might be good for right there. And let's see, what else do I want to do here? Okay, so I have to decide if I want to do that. I have this. That might be, is that better than my mushroom? Or should I go like with that? Or just put this in the pocket? Maybe I'll do that. We can also do these cute artist trading cards here as well. It might be cute to have like a little stripe across there. This was just like, this was some packaging paper from Amazon that I had stamped on for something else, and so it was in my scrap drawer. I love using this for everything. It's great for everything. You can make pages out of it. You can use it for all kinds of stuff. And I think it's just, I don't know, it's like the perfect, it's a good thing for layering because it's not thick. So you can put a bunch of stuff on there, you know, and it doesn't really, you know, make anything like super lumpy or anything like that. Probably too big for that. I might be going back to my mushroom here for this one. Okay, I'm going to leave that for right now, and then I'm going to come back. Okay, so we have this guy right here. So we have a pocket here, which is like the, I think this is the perfect home for my little mushroom card. Yep, and he fits perfectly in there. And, okay, so for this page, we just have a, ooh. See, now I'm mixing and matching, right? We have a bunch of just different stuff. We also have some pockets and stuff that we need to attach onto here and here. So we'll do that as well. I don't know if this is going to be good for over there, but I'm going to think about that. Okay. All right. So this would be 5 and the flap off of 5. Okay. So for that one, we are going to need these. There's 3 little pockets like this, and there's 1 tall pocket like this. Okay. So the tall pocket is the one that goes on this side. And then the 3 little pockets go on this side. Although it would fit, if you wanted to do it differently, you could put this one on this side as well if you wanted to. Okay, so we're going to just put these guys on here and just kind of space them out. I'm going to skew lower with these. This is one of the ones where I accidentally printed the wrong thing on the back. So these are the way they look in the kit, and I accidentally I didn't print the right thing on the back of that, so I just didn't want you to be too confused about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue these 3 triple pockets down. And I think these might be cute if we put like the leaf and the mushroom in here instead. I'm glad I didn't glue that to the other page. So maybe take a lesson from me here and do your ephemera last. I'll try to stay focused and not get distracted. Okay, so we'll get this on there. I have a couple of these quote strips here. There's just a couple with just random sayings on them, and others that are quotes. I think I'm going to use this one here. This one says, peace lives between petals and page, silence and wonder. And I think it kind of goes nicely with this sort of project that we're doing and the space of the project. And okay, so, and I think what I'm going to do here is I can cut this up nicely into 3 phrases and then just put 1 phrase on each pocket. Here. And then we can find some cute stuff to stick in our pockets. I do have my little flower here. It's a little bit delicate because its stem is so... Oh, that's the only bummer about that, is it's blocking my... I was thinking about putting in like the mushroom, the leaf maybe up here. Maybe we should put the mushroom there and the flower on the bottom since it's the tallest. That. And then maybe find a couple little pieces to kind of complement these guys here. I can never get enough of these little cluster pieces. There we go. So that's all in there. I'm going to come back to that in just a sec. I'm going to go ahead and put my this pocket on here. I already pre-taped this guy just to make it a little bit easier to get him on there. So I'm just going to take the tape off of this. Sorry while I try to neaten my desk up a little here. Okay. Okay, and this guy's gonna pop right on here. I have this cute little row of little journal cards here, or well, journal cards. Is that they're more like little collage strips to go, and so I'm gonna trim off one of them. I think it's gonna be this one. There we go. Yeah, let's see if I want to put anything else on here. I definitely want to put something down here for sure. Oh, here's my pocket. Look at me, reading my own mind. Okay, so my little pocket goes on there. I'm just going to run some glue along the edge. Oops, sorry. This is one of the ones I messed up on that whole page and printed it on the screen instead. Okay, so here's my pocket. And I do have this leaf right here. Just kind of, I'm pushing it a little bit here, but should I put it in this pocket? No, I think this pocket. Okay, so that is the first part of this folio, partially decorated, I guess you could say, right? We've got like a bunch of ephemera in here, so that one goes in here on the front. And now we can go ahead and move on and do the back side. Okay, so this flap here can go either way. It's up to you. And then, okay, so here we have, I think we are on, this is 6 here. And we have this cute little collage set up here with the dragonfly. So this panel goes behind on here. And then we have this guy to layer on top. And then we have a bunch of little pieces of ephemera to go on that. I am going to, for this panel, quickly just switch over to a glue stick for this panel so I can get good solid coverage because I want the whole thing to lay flat. And I'm just using this Oohoo, like it's a permanent glue stick, so it shouldn't give me too many problems. I just want to get a nice good layer on there because I'm going to glue that whole paper down on here. Okay. This here, and that should just fit right in there. Just make sure your butterfly can still bend back and forth there. So that should give me a good solid even coverage there. Now, for this guy here, you could use this as a tuck spot if you want, or you could just glue him straight down. I'm going to glue him straight down because there's so many pockets and flipping and flopping things in here. I don't feel like the need for like a whole nother tuck spot. So I'm just gonna glue this guy down. And then we can decorate right on top of him. I just want to make sure I get good complete coverage on that. And then I'm going to put this down. Hopefully I'm getting it in the middle. Okay. Okay, so then we have like some little bits and pieces here, which I think I might use this at the bottom, kind of like a little tuck spot pocket situation. I'm going to give it a little trim on the edge here. And then I have like a little cute piece of ephemera over there. I can go in here. Like one of these little like layered pieces. Let's see what I want to put in here too. I guess I don't want to cover him up too much, but there's a little dragonfly here we could use as well. So we could have like a themed situation here. Let's use this quote here. I love this quote. It's part of a poem, and it's about like how when the world is crazy, you know, where you find peace. And I think that a lot of us, like when things are super crazy, what we turn to is nature, right? I find that there's nothing that like really calms me down or, you know, gives me such a sense of peace as like just sitting outside for a little while. It doesn't matter if it's day or night or any of those things. It just to go sit outside for a little while. It gives you like a, I guess it centers you. It gives you like kind of a sense of like your space in this world. You know what I mean? It's like walking barefoot, you know? Sometimes you just need to walk barefoot. My youngest child will not walk barefoot on anything, which is, I don't know. I have to walk barefoot sometimes. Like, you just have to have that, like, feeling, you know? Of course, I grew up in the 80s, and, no, like, you know, it was a lot more freewheeling then. I probably made them wear shoes all the time when they were kids. And I'm just going to put this quote on here. There's also a couple of wax seals in the kit. I always like to throw a couple of those in there. Just because, you know, sometimes you want to have... oh, there's an envelope coming up, actually, so... But sometimes you just want to have them for decoration, you know? I think I'm going to swap this guy out for this one. I don't know if that's going to stay there. Okay. Okay, so now this panel here gets the other half of the butterfly. So this one, you're just going to glue this right on here, and you're going to get a whole butterfly now for that. Which, honestly, I mean, a giant butterfly just always makes me happy. Okay, so we got that. And just slide this on here and line this guy up. Okay, I need my forgiveness of the glue stick here. I want to make sure it gets right into the thing so the butterfly doesn't look like it's messed up. There we go. There you go. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the back of this yet, but I thought I could like decorate the back of it, especially if I put like some like either cheesecloth or something like that down first, and then that would give it like a backing for here and then space for that as well. And also, you know, there's also pieces of ephemera in here that are small enough that it could, you know, you could make it work. I'm going to cut this. I kind of want this to have like little like peaceful, inspiring little quotes so that I can leaf through it and like have it be like a little like inspiring moment. I love inspiring quotes, and I love, you know, stuff like this. So I thought it'd be nice to have a little journal that had some nice quotes in it and some pretty pictures and some beautiful butterflies. How is that? That's pretty good. Okay, I feel good about that right there. Okay, all right, so we can move on to the next one. We're just cooking right along here. Okay, so I'm gonna just start to pull this out a little bit so that we have like our flat working space here. Okay, so now we can go on to number 8. Okay, so this one is going to be, okay, so what we're going to want for this one is definitely one of the, this is going to be these little flaps here. So we're going to want a background panel for this one probably, unless you like what's here, which is, you know, depending on what you printed. So I'm going to pick one of these guys to put on there as like, oh, I love this one. Okay, I think I'm going to go with this one. Okay, I'm going to have that go on there like that. So I'm going to glue stick it again just to get the nice even coverage on here. Okay. And then right there on the center, alright, then we're going to just glue these 3 guys down. So they all have tabs. You're just going to glue them one on top of the other. First this guy. And if you want, you can just glue 1 or you can just glue 2. It's completely up to you what you want to do there. That one. should have put some on the top of this tab too. And then our last one. And then there is a little pocket also for this little set here that you can put on the back of here. And then you could put it here too if you prefer. You'd have to trim it a little bit, but I made it for the back of this. So it's up to you though where you want to put that guy. And then we can put whichever in here too. You can put this guy in here. And also, if you know, you could also collage on the back of these guys if you wanted to, or put the like little bits and pieces of ephemera on there as well, if you like. And also decorate this back panel too. There's tons of stuff to do that with, so that's also a good option. Hopefully that's down there. I do want to do something up here at the top. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so we can go to the next panel here. Okay, so this is going to be number 9, and we are going to do, this is our little journal book here. I've got, okay, I have like all my little pieces abounding here. Okay, so this here is the base, okay? And then we're going to glue the cards onto the top of it, okay? So all you need to do for this one is just fold it. I mean, you can fold it zigzag, or you can fold it in on itself, just depending on, you know, what your preference is. I like that. Okay, so there are some cards here. I think I'm going to go with... Okay, these ones have lines on them. They are extremely hard to see, I'm pretty sure, on the camera, but they are there. I think these are going to go on these pages, and then I'm going to put my pictures on the reverse side. And I think this is probably a glue stick job as well, especially since I don't want to have to worry about this being super wet when I have to glue 6 things to it. Okay, there's that one. And then we're going to glue this one on there too. Try to make sure that's centered. Okay, so, and we got this guy right here. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, and on this side, I have these 3 guys. so we'll put these down. And then I have some little, I'm thinking maybe the other side of this would be good for like where the lines are. Maybe we'll put some a quote down across there. I definitely I have this cute little sprig here that matches this sprig, so I want to put that on the other side as well. Flip that over. Okay, so this would be our lined side. Okay, so let's see here. What do I want to do? Okay, I like these ones that are split up so that I can like have the same number of words on each one. Let's see if these will fit on here. They will. Okay, this one says, beauty lingers where nothing demands attention. Let's do that. And let's think about this too. Because I think I should put this down first. Put this down. And then we can put our little words down and have our little book. Go. This could also, you could also come through and stamp on here too if you wanted. I mean, obviously I want to leave a little bit of room because I did take up almost this whole page here with this little sprig here. But, you know, you could definitely come through here and do a little stamping and jazz up these even a little bit more. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And then I think what I would like to do for this guy here, there is a pocket for this to go into. I made it quite fat. All right, so let me go ahead and, I need to decide if I want to put down a card first, which I could totally do. I feel like I'm kind of partial to this butterfly here. I know I have a lot of butterflies already, but I just kind of feeling that one, so I'm going to go with that. Just put that one right in the middle there. Okay, and then I can pop my pocket right over top of it. and then stick this guy on here. I thought it would be maybe cute to tie this guy out with like a ribbon. Or it could even be like a piece of thread. Just depending on, you know, what you would like. This is a crazy ribbon because it comes unbraided, but then it makes it kind of like have a tassel edge, which is kind of cute. I'm sure you probably have to like burn it or something on the end, or maybe put some glue or fabric glue on the end to stop it from doing that. If I cut this the same length, maybe it'll unravel as well. Because I think it's just braided. Yep, it totally will. And that could go into our pocket here. That's going to make this a little chubby, but what can I say? Okay, so we're on to the next one. Oops. Okay, so for this one, you're going to need the envelope, and then whatever you might want to put in your envelope as well. So let's glue the envelope first. Okay, so it goes this way here, with this on the right side. And then we're just going to put glue on the edges of our envelope here. Just be careful, don't go all the way to the top because it doesn't go all the way to the top, if that makes sense. Okay. Make sure I didn't get any glue, which I don't think I did. Okay. Okay, so you can put one of the ATC cards fit in here really nicely. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And we need another background as well for this one, which might be this one here. Yeah, I think that's a nice match for that one. Okay, so for this one here, I'm going to grab, ooh, I don't want to rip that. I want to grab this here, I think, for the front of it. And then you're going to want to get a piece of, like, ribbon, because what we're going to do is we're going to glue ribbon underneath it to tie this whole thing on. So I'm going to grab my ribbon. Okay, I cut it way too long, but okay, so the first thing I want to do is glue this flat to the back here, and then I'm going to glue the card over the top of it, and then I'll be able to tie all of my ephemera into like a little bundle with once the ribbon is glued down here. Just to make sure I'm getting this center here. And then we'll put the card over it, so that'll help secure the ribbon down as well. Okay, I'm going to grab this here. I hope I'm not down too low here. I'm wondering, I think I might put this quote underneath as like a little surprise. So I'm going to just cut this guy up. Let me see how I can do it. We can have a lot of strings and ribbons on this side. Okay, this is going to work out perfectly. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this down the side here. What also would have been cool is if like I could have put like a piece of ribbon down to connect all of these together as well. That just occurred to me. So they were kind of like threaded together. Oops. I'm really bad about continuing to squeeze it when it's just in my hand because I don't think about it. Then we have kind of like a little message underneath our envelope. Okay, so I'm just going to press those guys down. And then we can add our envelope in. Okay. And you might want to add in other pieces of ephemera as well. Oh, I have some more over there too. I'm going to decide what I would like to have underneath that. I do like this one here. And then you can kind of tie whatever you want in there because we're going to just use this ribbon to hold everything in there. Kind of like a little package. You could really like put like a serious bundle of stuff right here if you wanted to. Just to, you know, if you want to like store like a bunch of like ephemera or like memory item, you know, anything. I'm just going to try to fold this up a little here. So we can move on. And then we have our flap here as well. And you could glue this down too if you wanted to, if you're worried about your bundle. I'm not going to glue mine down because I want to keep it as a flap, but if you're worried about it, you totally could. Okay, so this panel here is our last one, and that is going to be our library card. So I got to get all my pieces for that. I've got this, and I just need my bottom here. Okay, and also I think I'm going to put something down. There's this one here. It's kind of just like texture. I think would be a good background here for this. So let's go ahead and put that one down on there. And then we can glue we're going to do our library card, which looks like this. And then we're just going to fold this piece and stick this right on top here. It's our mini little library pocket here. Come on, little guy. The tape does not want to come off of there. And we gotta get this one. And that just goes right on there. I thought it would be nice to have a little situation like this, especially if you were going to give this as a gift or whatever, and there's like a little matching library card, you know, that goes with it. But I just thought it'd be nice if you were going to give it for, a gift, or even if you're just making it for yourself, you can just, you know, write a little something on there. You could put your dates on there, when you made it, you know, what you filled it with, what was important, all that kind of stuff. I always like to put the dates and stuff in my journal. So I thought it would be nice to have a dedicated place to put that, especially if you wanted to put a special message in there or a special memory or something like that. This would be a good, you know, it's a good home for it right here. In this little spot. You could put a little label on here too if you wanted as well. Just to kind of commemorate the occasion or whatever. You know, if it's just for summer, it would be a good little summer journal. You could put all your little bits and pieces that you collect over the summer in here. I love this little bird so much. I think he might have to go in there. I have even more like random ephemera over here. There should be plenty of ephemera in here for decorating and you know, just kind of making it your own, right? Because that's what this is all about, is pretty much, I'm not going to make this a tuck spot. I'm just going to glue it on there because I like the way that it looks. Yeah, I think that's what this is all about, is just making it your own and adding your own little special touches and putting everything in your own order the way that you like it. You know, I think that's what all of this is really about. So hopefully there's going to be plenty of stuff in here for you guys to create with and to make this journal exactly what you want it to be. And so, like, oh my goodness gracious, it's kind of I've got like, there's a lot of flips and flaps and strings and things like that. So I'm gonna fold this guy all up. Look at how chunky we made it. It was very nice and flat before, but now it's nice and chunky, which is good because I think a chunky journal is a happy journal. That means that someone had a lot of fun filling it up, as well as looking through it. I have this here. Where can I put it? Put it in here. I kind of want to put a little bit more work into that area right there too. You have your cute little flap on the end. You have our butterfly here. Oh, you know what? I could put. That needs to be like, needs a little decoration action here. That's too big. But I could cut one of these other ones down probably. Just to have something a little extra special in there. I do have this little piece of decorative trim here. We could turn that into a tuck spot actually. And then I would have extra room in here for decorating, or you could just leave it as like, you know, an area to collage or decorate, you know, however you wanted. Because I kind of like the idea of the, you know, the folds, you know, unfolding and then revealing the picture behind it. I'm just going to add this little tuck spot in here. I was supposed to be doing, I'm going to do I'll flip through the whole thing in a second. I'll clean off my desk and just, you know, kind of go through the whole thing. There's also this like little feather card too. It kind of covers up my flower. But it's hard not to keep sticking things in pockets. Like, it's just super easy to do it and super fun. I have another flower here too. Oops, I may have glued that too far over. There we go. Oh, that works out perfect. Okay. I may have to cut those a little shorter, but we'll see how it pans out. Okay, let me clean off my desk and then I'll do like a quick little flip through here. Okay, sometimes I feel like there's just not enough time in the day, right? So this is our Nature's Neutrals Flipbook, and I'm going to just do a quick little flip through here at the end, just so you guys can see it all together at the end. I hope you guys will enjoy doing this project. There's a cute little pocket here, and then we're going to flip this open here, and we've got another pocket here with ephemera in it, and we have the option to put a little bit of ephemera in there. You know, I can't resist the opportunity to put something somewhere. And another pocket here with more ephemera. And we're going to flip this over. This is our little frame with our little bird. We have a double pocket here with our little flower in there. And then here we have another pocket, more ephemera. This is our triple pocket with our little quote on there. And then on the back of it, we have another pocket here. And then this is our dragonfly cage and our butterfly. And now we have our triple little flip here with the pocket in the back of this one here. And then here's our other pocket with our feather. And our little flip book here. I'm going to untie it temporarily here. Our flip book. That's pretty sturdy, I have to tell you, with all that glue and stuff. And I'm gonna have to pull this open because it's fat. This is our envelope in it. Here. And our little hidden quote behind it, and our little flap, and our library card. And that, oops, brings us back to the beginning. That's what I love about these books. You can just, they're just endless. You just keep going and keep flipping. I can't help thinking about my mom would just absolutely have loved one of these. She just would have loved it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this project. And I hope that you crafted along with me and that it was pretty easy to do and pretty fun. And I will see you guys soon in the next video, which will most likely be a inkbound video. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you soon.